So as you know, most of you might know who I am. My name's Amanda. I'm an orthodontist practicing, goodness, we're going almost on 20 years now. I don't feel like I'm that old. But for the last, goodness, about 7 or 8, I've been actually doing product development and consulting. Right now, I own StraightSmile Solutions. It's an orthodontic consulting company. Kind of fell into this. My husband's a general dentist, if you haven't heard my story. Initially, when I was practicing exclusively, I was kind of against general dentists doing ortho. I was like, oh, they're going to screw it up. But then he started doing it and his friends started doing it. And they were really careful about what cases they took. They knew that they had limitations and they were like, can you help us? And initially that was helping them just with their Invisalign and then clear correct. And then it turned into clear aligners and braces and 6-month smiles and phase 1. And it just kind of turned into a full-time gig, which has been fantastic because I have, well, they're now 2 teenage kids, but they're really active. And for me, just personally, my personal story, if you haven't heard it, it was really hard having 2 clinicians in the house. Every time it was a sick kid or someone had a play at school, it was always like, who's got the least production on the schedule today, or who's canceling their patients? And it was hard. I'll be honest. It was really, really hard. So I said, you know what, I'll take a more passive role. Have a little more flexibility. Cool thing is I live in Honolulu, Hawaii. So my day starts about 4 in the morning, my time, but I can be in my pajamas, as many of you know. And I'm done about 1 or 2 my time, which is fantastic because I'm super engaged in my kids' activities in the afternoon. I do a lot of community service and I feel like I have the best of both worlds, and I get to travel when my kids travel for sports events. So my work comes with me, but that's me. So anyways, if you have any questions, I really open up my lines for any questions. If you want to contact me, I'm glad to help you with anything that you need. No matter if you're an orthodontist, a general dentist, or in the lab industry, there's my contact information. So the why behind all this, basically for general dentists at least, which is kind of the bulk of my clients, general and pediatric dentists, is kind of the more ortho you do, you know, especially easy ortho, the more of whatever you really want to do. So whether that be implants or cosmetic work, and you can do a better job at it, right? Because we can align the teeth over the bone. We can get the right angles and contours so that you can do the best and most stable long-term restorative work. So that's the why behind it. What are some of the pain points that come up? I mean, of course, initially you've got people are freaked out because they look at these GP ortho classes that are expensive. You have to travel, you have to buy a lot of equipment. That's not necessarily true. We're going to talk a lot about that today. A lot of other people are concerned about upsetting their friends. They like that fruit basket they get every Christmas time, you know. Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. The doctors that I work with, for the most part, they refer even more cases out than they ever did before because they're just screening more patients, right? And of course, inefficiency and margins. A lot of general dentists struggle with a ton of revisions, refinements, mid-course corrections. They're not necessarily needed. And that's part of the reason we're going to be talking about GP ortho tracking today, dental monitoring today, and what both Dr. Moorhead and Dr. Fisher are doing in their practices to have great outcomes and to try to have as few appointments as possible, which patients want. I mean, we all know what's going on in the direct-to-consumer aligner industry. Patients want, you know, they want tech, they want convenience. So it changes a little bit about how we practice, and that's fine. So I usually recommend that all general and pediatric dentists do 3 different buckets of different types of orthodontics, a little bit of phase 1, a little bit of braces, and a little bit of aligners. And if you've got questions about that. Okay. So today we're going to be focusing for the most part on just aligners. We're going to be talking about not only traditional methods of aligners, which is your Invisalign, your clear correct, and basically this can be time consuming, especially if you do not have an intraoral scanner. It can take upwards, over a month for your aligners to arrive. Both Dr. Moorhead and Dr. Fisher are delivering their aligners same day, scanning and delivering same day, which is pretty incredible. What an amazing way to sell a case, right? So that's branded aligners, but we're also going to be talking about white label aligners. And everybody knows the lab fees on your Invisalign and clear correct are pretty expensive, like really expensive compared to really what it costs them, which I can tell you more about that later. And you'll find out, you know, what you can do if you want to do in-house. White label is often the way to go. No, you cannot do everything. And I'm sure, again, Dr. Fisher and Dr. Moorhead will talk about what type of cases they don't use white label on. But you can spin these around. Even if you have no equipment at all, you can still spin this around in less than 2 weeks. And if you do have the equipment in-house, you can do it same day. So that's pretty incredible. So we're going to be talking about white label design companies. That's a component of the white label aligner process. I work with 4 major companies, but then also I do work with ClearMove, so I probably need to update this graphic to include them. Sorry about that, guys. But they're fantastic too. They kind of package it all together for you. So the key is picking the right company. If you'd like an intro, let me know. I'll be glad to introduce you. Again, another key to success is going to be aligner tracking. We're going to be talking more specifically to Dr. Moorhead and Phil about gporthotracking.com and how this can help your cases just be so much better and get done so much quicker, better patient satisfaction, better outcomes. So again, here's my contact information. Enough about me. You guys have heard of me before. I'm going to go ahead and stop share, and I'm going to go ahead and pass this over. Wait, no, first.